Sunshines! So it has been a minute since I have sat down properly to talk with y'all. So I am really excited to be here. I'm going to spend some time talking to you guys about this book that I just recently finished and really enjoyed. Gotta get my little notes ready to go here. So the book that I'm here to talk to you guys about today is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. The little tagline on the back says, "In the woods is a glass coffin, and in it sleeps a boy with horns on his head and ears as pointed as knives." This book was charming and mischievous and dark, and I really enjoyed it. So this review is going to be a spoiler-free review where I give you kind of the bullet points of what happens in the storyline, a little snippet about the characters, and then kind of my general thoughts about this book so that we don't get into any spoilery bits and y'all can go read it for yourselves. So the main setting of this book is the city of Fairfold. Fairfold is located directly outside of the woods, and the woods, the deep dark woods, are where the fairies live. The townsfolk of Fairfold are used to avoiding the tricks and mischievousness of the fairies and have gotten to the point where they leave out homages, offerings, if you will, to the Fae in exchange for not snatching them away in the middle of the night, stringing them up by their ankles, draining all their blood, and doing other forms of Fae magics and mischievousness upon them. However, Fairfold is a pretty gigantic tourist trap. One of the main reasons for this, aside from the fact that there are Fae in Fairfold, is that there is a boy, not just any boy, he is the Horned Boy, and the Horned Boy can be found inside of a glass coffin in a clearing in the woods. Everyone wants to come see the Horned Boy. In fact, the townspeople are just so used to him by this point that the kids go out and visit him. They throw parties on top of and around his coffin. Like, he's just a part of the town, but he is a big tourist draw. Tourists are different than the townspeople to the folk, and in their eyes are completely fair game to snatch away. Now, the Horned Boy is a pivotal part of this story. He has been asleep for hundreds and hundreds of years. Decades at the very least. I don't remember which one is right, but he's been asleep for a very long time, okay? Like, long enough that Hazel and her brother Ben, who are two main characters in this story, have never known a time that he has not been asleep in this coffin, until one day he wakes up. Now, I'm not giving anything away by telling you that because it's actually on the back of the book, but it is a very pivotal part of our story. So that's kind of the setting that we're living within. Now, moving along to characters, Hazel is our main character. Hazel is a tenacious girl. She has been going on adventures with her brother Ben for as long as she can remember. They used to play at being knights, and Hazel was always the true knight, the knight in shining armor, coming to rescue the town and rescue her brother Ben, and this has always been the way that it has been. Hazel and Ben, as true siblings are, do not share all of their secrets with one another, and have both actually shared their fair number of secrets with the Horned Boy. The Darkest Part of the Forest has a cast of characters who are all unique and diverse. Hazel and Ben are brother and sister. They are the main characters of this book. And then we have Jack and Carter, who are also brothers, as well as the Horned Boy, who is another pivotal character in this story. So for the majority of the story, we are seeing the world through Hazel's eyes from her perspective. But there are times, albeit there may be only a handful of them, that we actually switch around and see the world from Ben's perspective and Jack's perspective and the Horned Boy's perspective, and I really enjoyed that. I didn't really feel while I was reading the story that I was missing anything. Out of the character building, what I really enjoyed was the fact that Hazel and Ben's parents were pretty out of touch. They're kind of like the crazy artistic types of the you can be anything you want to be, and if that is that you want to be a flower, you can be a flower, and you'll be the best flower that there ever was. A little bit hippie, a little bit out there, kind of eccentric, and I loved the way that Holly Black was able to paint Hazel's relationship with her brother as siblings. There was just the right amount of siblings as best friends, camaraderie, jealousy, friendship, Sharing each other's friends was another interesting dynamic because Jack and Carter are not just Ben's friends, but also Hazel's friends. And I loved the way that Holly was able to represent the relationship between Hazel, Ben, and their parents, because they didn't always get along, but there was so much love there. There was trust, and I just really appreciated that, because their relationships were not perfect, but it was very real and it was very tangible as a familial unit. Another thing that I loved about this book was the diversity in the book. It was diversity that just existed. Like, Jack's family is described as being dark-skinned, which is great. You don't even find that out until, like, it's just a piece of who they are, you know? And then, like, there's LGBT themes in the book as well. Ben is gay, and it's just a part of who he is. It's not like she's writing and she's like, oh, and Jack is black, and Ben is gay. There's none of that. It's just the situations lend themselves to your discovery of just another part of who they are as people. And I really, really, really appreciated that. I can't even tell you how much I appreciated that. I also very much am of the opinion that I feel like I want to mention it, and also that I don't want to mention it, because, you know, I want it to just be a part of how the world is, if that makes sense. But anyway, that was really great. The other thing that was really cool about this book is that it is a standalone novel. I feel like the ending could have been a little bit stronger, and I'd really be curious to hear if you guys have read this book, if you feel the same way. But I loved that this was a standalone book, that she wrapped everything up into a neat, tight package. I was surprised by things in this book. There were a couple of things that I kind of guessed at, but for the most part, the big plot twists I didn't see coming, and I thought that was great. I love being surprised by books, especially when they're so artfully woven as this one was. The language was easy to read, but it was also beautiful and easy and kind of intricate and a little bit old-timey in like the fairy world kind of way, and that was nice too. Overall, I really enjoyed this book, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads because I just really found myself captured by this story and I couldn't put it down. I finished it pretty quickly. It just felt really original and unique, and I really, really enjoyed that about this book. So there you have it. That is my review on Holly Black's The Darkest Part of the Forest. I really would be curious to hear your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? Leave your comments down below so I can check them out. And also don't forget to subscribe. I almost always post a new video every Tuesday and Friday. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. I'll talk to you then. Toodaloo! Today's look is inspired by The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. Finally decided that I needed to just buy the stuff I'd had my eyes on for so long.